A girl ponders the world beyond life, remembering her father's tales of a realm where angels shield humans from demons who try to bewitch humans. He prioritized their family's joy and promised to guide her from the stars after his passing. She wants to follow in her father's footsteps, becoming a source of hope and light. Through her art, she aims to spread happiness and positivity, hoping to reunite with her father in the afterlife. The scene transitions to a creepy, deserted spot where human bones lay scattered near an elevator. A lively streamer steps out, smiling brightly, and apologizes to her audience for forgetting to resume her live stream. She excitedly announces that her content for the day is a tour of this terrifying realm. As she ventures deeper into the area, she showcases a frightening ghostly figure and comments on its eerie appearance up close. Curious, she asks the ghost about the wish it made that led to its current dreadful state. The ghost responds with a menacing tone, questioning the streamer's identity and boasting that it has consumed all the humans in the area. The streamer's enthusiasm remains, but the atmosphere grows tense as she continues exploring. The streamer's adventure takes a dark turn as the ghost's scary words linger. The ghost asks the girl where she's from, but she turns the question around, asking how the ghost could hurt others so badly. She looks into the ghost's fiery eyes and teases it, saying it can't even digest the people it claims to have eaten. The girl continues to mock the ghost, joking that it would be fun for her to try and escape just as it's about to eat her. She laughs at the thought, and the ghost gets angry. Furious, it demands to know what she knows about its situation. The ghost moves towards her, threatening to destroy her. But the girl stays calm and tells her viewers to increase the stream's likes. She promises to switch the screen if they reach 10,000 likes. Her expression remains playful, contrasting with the ghost's menacing threat. She jokes that she's more than just a live stream, revealing it's all part of the show. She checks the screen and comments that things are getting intense. The girl teases her viewers, asking if that's all the support they can give. The angry ghost throws her phone away, but it gets stuck in a skeleton's eye. The ghost moves towards the girl, threatening to hurt her, especially her mouth. However, the live stream keeps going. Just as the ghost is about to attack, the girl suddenly spreads her wings and thanks her viewers for new subscriptions. She promotes her channel, drawing joy, offering a special prize for new subscribers, a signed hand-drawn artwork. She also congratulates her loyal subscribers who have been with her for 100 years. The ghost is shocked to see the girl's wings. The girl announces the start of a subscription reaction, warning viewers who might be sensitive. Then she pulls out a sword from her throat and introduces herself as Joy, someone who loves fun and quirky things. She states that she's an angel who protects the world from chaos and calls out for Raggy. The sword she uses can make dreams come true and is known as the Night Rainbow Butterfly. The angel smiles brightly at the ghost and says interactions like this make everything fun. The ghost gets even angrier and attacks the angel again. But she quickly fights back, telling the ghost to be quiet and die. With a swift move, she cuts off the ghost's hand, saying she loves seeing people smile. She talks to her audience, hoping they're enjoying her work. Then her sword hits the ghost, and flowers start blooming all over its body. The ghost's bad energy goes away. The angel looks at the flowers and thinks about how beautiful the world is. She invites the ghost spirit to become lovely flowers that bring happiness. With Aragi's power, she gives the ghost a final blow, and it disappears. The angel celebrates her win with a happy dance, her sword shining brightly. The angel talks about her artwork, explaining that she preserved the flowers on special leather and signed it with the ghost's finger. She says today's mission was a big success and asks her viewers if they enjoyed it. She hopes the experience was helpful for other angels watching. Joy promises to create more exciting content and thanks her viewers for their kind words. She admits she worked hard on today's stream and is a bit tired, but she's already thinking about her next project. After wrapping up her stream, she promotes her channel and then enjoys her meal, appreciating the delicious taste. She checks her tablet and sees that she has 15 minutes left before the world resets. She considers starting another stream. Just then, a notification appears, asking her to accept a new mission. She thinks about how many missions she's been getting and wonders what other angels are doing. She eats, assuming that they were all busy watching her content. She notices that more humans are making deals with demons because the world is getting tougher. People are divided, fighting, and blaming each other, which makes things worse. Fixing this won't be easy, and mistakes will have long-lasting effects. Humans feel undervalued and struggle to find their place and purpose. Given the situation, Angel Joy decides to move forward with her next project. As she gets into the elevator, she receives messages encouraging her to finish her mission and noting that there's a lot of work to be done. She's asked to set her destination. The angel thinks that if demons are attracting people, she needs to create better content. She wants to offer something more appealing than what the demons provide. She decides to go to the most desperate human, smiling because helping people is her job as an angel. Elsewhere, a boy with a hammer stuck in his hair prepares for his interview, reflecting on his daily routine that gives him confidence, knowing that despite all the problems, it'll work out in the end. Upon arrival, Dante is introduced to the panel as a job applicant. They notice his educational background and point out that he's a dropout with only a middle school education. Dante calmly explains that despite this, he's earned a technical degree online and is currently pursuing his bachelor's degree through self-study. The panel asks follow-up questions, and Dante shares his story, explaining that he dropped out to support his family financially. The discussion shifts to government support for students, and Yu thoughtfully shares his views. However, the panel members seem unimpressed, criticizing his responses as too passive. Sensing their frustration, Dante decides to take a different approach. He stands up, apologizes for not meeting their expectations, and respectfully asks to start over. Bowing humbly, he takes a deep breath and reintroduces himself with renewed energy. This time, he highlights his determination, strong work ethic, and eagerness to learn. He acknowledges his limitations but emphasizes his willingness to contribute to the company and grow with it. The interviewer laughs and tells Dante to leave, which visibly unsettles him. The panel questions the inconsistency in his story, pointing out his dropout status and claim of diligence. They reject his application due to a lack of credentials and perceived arrogance, their tone firm and dismissive. The interviewer's words provoke Dante's anger, and they make it clear they have no interest in hiring him. They criticize his attitude, demanding he leave the premises immediately. Dante approaches the door but hesitates, thinking he won't back down. The interview isn't concluded, and he's determined to see it through. He turns around and walks back to the panel, his determination evident. The interviewer is furious, demanding to know what he's doing. Dante announces that he's going to show them his real intent. He picks up his chair and hits the interviewer, claiming that if aggression is what it takes to prove his passion, he'll do it. Then, in a shocking turn, he hits himself with the chair. Suddenly, Dante jolts awake, realizing it's just a dream. He lies on the ground, surrounded by colleagues in the pouring rain. They're checking if he's responsive, warning him to stay still as he drifts in and out of consciousness, concerned for his well-being. A hammer is stuck in his head, and he's bleeding badly. He wonders if this is real or just a weird moment. As he thinks about his injuries, he remembers all the job interviews he had and how he got rejected every time. Some interviewers pointed out his lack of experience, while others bluntly cited his youth and insufficient qualifications as reasons for rejection. He recalls the disappointment of sitting in interview rooms, waiting for a chance that never came. He applied for jobs that he could do from home, hoping for a break, but faced rejection after rejection. The automated rejection emails piled up in his inbox, each one a reminder of his failure to land a job. Frustrated, he went back to doing physical labor to make ends meet and decided to keep trying. He reminded himself to stay strong, focused, and determined. But then he slipped and fell, hitting his head badly on a hammer. As he lies there, he remembers a dream where he was chasing an interviewer, desperate to get a job. But now his priorities have shifted, and he just wants to survive. He thinks of a girl playing the violin and feels a strong urge to protect her and make a better life for himself by achieving his goals. He desperately wants to live and find a way out of this difficult situation. With newfound determination, he vows to himself that he won't give up until he's succeeded and found happiness on his own terms. In his semi-conscious state, he hears a gentle voice promising to grant his deepest wish. A guardian angel appears beside him, claiming to rescue his spirit from the brink of danger. She asks about his heart's desire, questioning whether his job aspirations are truly what he wants or just a means to an end. With a gentle smile, she appoints him as an angel, tasking him with changing the fates of loved ones and guiding them toward their true potential. A notification confirms his new role, granting him the power to shape destinies and influence the lives of those around him. Sitting on a bench, he laughs softly, realizing he's still alive and filled with a sense of wonder. Meanwhile, the doctor examines Dante's case, noting it's remarkable and requires extreme caution. The hammer's proximity to vital nerves makes removal risky, so it's best to leave it in place for now. Potential complications include hallucinations, distorted thinking, or even further brain damage, necessitating close monitoring and careful observation. A notification declares Dante a guardian angel, granting him the power to change lives with destiny points. He senses that more ominous messages could land him in trouble, hinting at challenges ahead in his new role and the weight of responsibility that comes with it. Realizing he's talking to himself, he wonders if he's losing his mind. A notification tells him that he can earn points by completing missions. He notices info about people floating above their heads, like names and details. A message asks him to choose someone to change their path. He laughs, thinking the strange voice must be playing a prank. As he looks at people, he sees tags above their heads with their names and jobs. Feeling grateful to be alive, he decides to go along with it and jokes about writing a story about this weird experience. While laughing, his attention falls on a girl apologizing to her boyfriend for being late. The boyfriend responds with excessive flattery, and the girl looks happy. A message suddenly appears, offering options to change her fate. Surprised, he clicks yes and wonders if he really made the choice. The girl's profile appears, with options to alter her life, including her relationships and personality traits. He thinks this is like a game and considers breaking up the couple, curious about the outcome and how it would affect her life. He weighs the options, feeling a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Trying to clear his mind, Dante decides to meditate, hoping to avoid the swirling thoughts and questions. He focuses on his breath, attempting to quiet his mind and find some peace. But the thoughts linger, making it hard for him to settle into the meditation. After hesitating for a moment later, he hears the girl start to resist her boyfriend's overly sweet words. Deciding to intervene, he makes a choice, and it seems to take effect. The girl suddenly confronts her boyfriend with evidence of his infidelity, leading to a dramatic breakup. The girl discovers her boyfriend's infidelity. He had been with another girl the previous night, despite telling her he was with his grandma. Enraged, she hits him on the nose and kicks him in the belly, leaving him injured. The confrontation ends with a dramatic breakup. He's stunned, and his gaze falls on a sobbing youngster telling his buddy he thought he'd finally get it today. His friend responds that there are many stag beetles at the stationery store and offers the tearful boy an ice cream to calm down. The boy declines, saying he prefers natural things and doesn't want anything artificial. His friend teases him, saying he's eccentric for searching for a giant stag beetle downtown. Meanwhile, a message appears on Dante's screen, offering fate management options, including viewing a wish shop. To confirm the earlier incident, he clicks on Fate Management and chooses to catch a giant stag beetle for 25 points. The boy's friend asks if he's done his homework, but the boy continues weeping, feeling hopeless. Suddenly, a giant stag beetle lands on his ice cream, impressing his friend. The boy's mood lifts, and they both head off to buy jelly. He remains in shock, wondering if he's dreaming. He decides to test it again to see if it works. He sees two girls taking a photo of a stray cat. He uses Fate Management to arrange for one of them to adopt the cat for 20 points. Soon, one girl decides to take the cat home, naming it Cheddar. They walk off happily. Feeling thrilled, he believes this is real. He accepts his role as an angel and asks for clearer guidelines on using his power. He thinks about a violinist he saw earlier and hurries over, sensing an opportunity to help her. The narrative shifts to a girl who feels tormented by misfortune, having lost treasured possessions and faltering at crucial times since childhood. A string of unfortunate events seems to follow her everywhere. When she's 10, disaster strikes on the day of her highly anticipated tournament finals. Her parents die in a sudden tragedy. The girl Unabom is Dante's sister. At the somber burial, she sits alone, consumed by sorrow, as relatives gather around, deliberating over the legacy her parents have left behind. They're more keen on dividing the wealth and assets than in providing genuine support to the grieving youngsters. Some dispute over who will care for her and her siblings, but their genuine interest lies in claiming the riches and property for themselves. No one genuinely wants to care for the children. Nabom listens to their conversation, tears streaming down her pale face as she sits alone, overwhelmed by grief. Just as she loses her balance and falls, her brother appears, holding her close and shielding her from the harsh reality. He reassures her that she'll be safe by his side, promising to always protect her from the world's cruelty. He tells her to trust him completely, and she'll never have to worry again. With a gentle touch, her brother pulls her out of the somber funeral and takes her to a nearby music hall filled with sunlight and soothing melodies. He says they need bright places, not dark ones, to heal their broken hearts. At first, she finds him hard to understand, But when she picks up her violin and begins to play, he comforts her through the music, his presence a calming balm to her sorrow. With tears welling up in his eyes, he asks her to play for their parents in heaven, his voice barely above a whisper. He tells her to be strong and show the world they're alive, their music and spirit refusing to be silenced. After that, she feels a surge of bravery, knowing her brother is always there for her, a steadfast guardian. Now she's playing the violin at the hospital, sitting beside Dante's bed, her sad face a reflection of her concern for her brother. Dante, Soul, comes there and he observes his sister playing the violin, feeling a strong urge to protect her and a deep sense of responsibility for her well-being. The girl asks about the music she's playing, saying it's by Beethoven, a composer her brother loves. But Dante doesn't respond, he's still not awake. She thinks about how Beethoven didn't let his problems stop him and hopes her brother will get better too. As she keeps playing, she wishes her brother could follow her music and feel better. Angel Dante responds, saying he wants to help her through tough times. When he tries to touch her, his hand goes right through her body. He's shocked and realizes he's not really there, he's a spirit. Looking at his own body lying in the bed, he understands he's stuck between life and death. This makes him very confused. Then, a boy named Yu Minjin comes into the room, laughing at the scene. He asks what a person who's asleep can even see or hear. Dante gets angry because the boy is being so rude. The boy says he's there to help, but he puts his hands on the girl's shoulders, making Dante want to stop him. He tries to push the boy away, but it doesn't work. The boy smirks and declares he came because he was worried, but then he makes a mean comment about the girl's situation. The girl gets really mad and tells the boy to leave. She warns him that if he doesn't, she'll tell someone about his bad behavior. The boy's smile fades, and he quickly leaves the room. The girl goes back to playing her violin, trying to comfort her brother, who's still struggling to understand what's happening. Minjin offers the sister a deal, 10 million won for her brother Dante's medical care, revealing he knows about their financial struggles and the loans they've taken. He demands she beg for his help in exchange for the money, a sly smile spreading across his face. Nebom is shocked, asking how he knows this private information. Dante's spirit is furious, trying to stop Minjin but unable to, his anger and helplessness growing. Minjin taunts her, saying Dante will die without his help, and orders her to kneel down. Desperate to save her brother, she complies, promising to repay Minjin if he assists. Minjin's eyes gleam with satisfaction as he sees her desperation. Minjin recalls a past warning from Dante to stay away from his sister. Now witnessing her desperation, Minjin feels vindicated. He reveals he's held a grudge against her since childhood, claiming she looked down on him and hid behind Dante's protection. Minjin wants to humble her, laughing at her situation and tossing money at her feet. He mocks her, saying she's nothing without her brother. Dante gets the fate management option for his sister, and her profile opens up. He tries to alter the situation to help her, but a message pops up saying he only has 5 points, which is insufficient for buying the points she needs. Dante becomes angry and frustrated, wondering why the system isn't working now when it had worked fine before. He feels a surge of desperation, realizing he's running out of options. In a mix of desperation and determination, Dante chooses the fate management option for Minjin. Dante's anger boils over, and he vows to take revenge on Minjin. But a message tells him he can't because his feelings are too full of hate. The power can't be used for cursing people, leaving Dante feeling frustrated and trapped. Dante's anger intensifies as he tries to understand why fate management has suddenly stopped working. The sister, tearfully, tells Minjin that her brother will awaken and fulfill his promise to protect her like their parents. Minjin mocks her, revealing the grim reality of her brother's condition: severe spinal injuries, paralysis, and a lifetime of dependence on others. He cruelly tells her that even if her brother wakes up, he'll be a lifelong burden, and their dreams are now shattered. Nebom breaks down in tears, and Minjin taunts her, saying that Dante should get up and confront him, calling him a helpless cripple. Minjin questions Dante's capability to safeguard anyone, labeling him a helpless liability and useless waste. Dante utilizes fate management to instill bravery in his sister. Nebom delivers a forceful blow to Minjin's head with her violin, sending him tumbling to the floor. She cautions Minjin against mocking her brother, telling him he is worthless scum and that she will not let him get away with it. She collects the cash Minjin had thrown at her and jams it into his mouth. Dante's spirit comments that he had forewarned Minjin about the repercussions of harming his sister. As he continues to fortify his sister's resolve, A notification informs him that his fate points are depleted. Dante spots a bag of popcorn beneath his bed and is puzzled by its presence. He becomes astonished, thinking about the unexpected presence of popcorn. As he looks closer, he notices a cell phone concealed under the bed, which mystifies him about its purpose. As Nabom lifts the cover from her brother's body, Joy with a phone in hand materializes, leaving both of them stunned. The sudden appearance of this enigmatic figure raises more questions than answers. Before they can process what's happening, she swiftly puts Nabom to sleep with her hypnotic powers, gently holding her. Her brother's fury erupts at her actions, but she calms him down, explaining that she's merely assisted his sister in sleeping. She then shifts her focus to him, inquiring if he recalls their acquaintance and jogging his memory about their prior agreement. This prompts him to reflect on their past interaction, and he starts to remember. With his memory refreshed, she informs him that she's present to retrieve what she had previously provided. He recalls that she's the angel from his dream and questions the contract and debt she mentioned, saying he doesn't understand what's going on. This confusion stems from his earlier interaction with her, where she seemed to know more about his situation than he did. The angel reminds him that he used the 100 points she provided, which initiated their agreement, and that their contract began when he started utilizing them. Given this revelation, she suggests they settle the debt and invites him to accompany her to hell. However, this proposal raises more questions for him, and he suspects something is amiss, questioning the validity of her claims and wondering if she's deceiving him. The angel's response is philosophical, emphasizing that every wish comes with a price. She reminds him that she saved his life and covered the contract fee, establishing their partnership. To solidify her point, she shows him the contract they made, which leaves him bewildered about the events that transpired in his dream and forces him to reevaluate his understanding of their agreement. He views the contract as unjust and decides to feign ignorance, planning to reject all knowledge of it. With hostility, he claims his limited education doesn't equip him to understand complex agreements. He produces a toy pistol, holds it to his sister's head, and inquires with a smirk if she believes she's being facetious. He advances towards her with rage, but she activates the elevator, causing the floor to open beneath him. He barely avoids plummeting into the shaft by remembering safety protocols. As he approaches her again, she fires the toy pistol, dousing him with water, and then delivers a kick that sends him stumbling into the elevator. The doors shut, and she instructs him to cease his antics and focus on his obligations. As he falls, he's taken aback, expecting kindness, not cruelty. She's amused, revealing that the pistol was just a water gun. She understands that individuals who enter into agreements with demons to achieve their desires are known as contractors. A contractor is revived, gaining the ability to make their dreams come true by offering their life to a dark force. However, these contractors attempt to impose their twisted visions on the world, turning it into a nightmare. As a result, the world descends into chaos. In contrast, angels are spiritual guardians who stand against demons and contractors to safeguard the world. The world chooses departed souls and transforms them into angels, tasking them with defeating contractors and restoring balance to the world. These angels often have unfinished business, such as families left behind, whom they couldn't protect in life. After completing their missions, angels are rewarded with special points that allow them to alter the fate of their loved ones in the real world. These points fill the void left by their absence and shield their loved ones from misfortune, enabling the angels to keep their promise of being there for them. Watching over their family grow and thrive brings them joy. If there's something precious to protect, fighting for it becomes essential. She introduces herself as an angel defending the world against chaos and apologizes for involving him in this world through a contract. She convinces him that this was the best approach to save him. She guarantees his safety, stating that as her ally, he'll be shielded from harm. She explains that his desperation reached out to her, and the world will soon need his help. She tasks him with completing his mission, protecting the world, and restoring his sister's happiness. She reminds him that his story is still unfolding. With a solemn promise, she declares that he's now meant to confront his misfortune and become the instrument that shatters the chains of destiny. A message notifies him of a new assignment. He gets up and steps out of the elevator, unsure of his surroundings. The screen displays an analysis of the mission's details. He spots a faint light in the darkness and walks towards it. There he finds a bride, and the setting is hauntingly eerie. Upon arrival, he notices his clothes have transformed into a groom's attire, which makes him feel anxious. The bride gazes at him, her eyes filled with curiosity, and asks about his identity. A notification on the screen reveals the answer. stating that he's the groom in this mission. Without hesitation, she wraps her arms around him, holding him tightly. He looks at her, confused, and wonders what's happening. With a warm smile, she tells him that she's been expecting him. And suddenly, masked figures emerge from the shadows, their eyes covered. The bride's expression turns serene as she explains the purpose of this place. A sanctuary for those wounded by love. Here he can offer her his body in exchange for his deepest desire. The ultimate dream of love. She welcomes him to this dark realm, a place where solitary dreams reside. With gentle reassurance, she calms his fears, promising that the wedding ritual will liberate him from pain and suffering. As he lifts the veil from her face, she teases him playfully, wondering about the taste of an angel. She stands before him, holding a bouquet that seems innocent at first glance, but hides sharp thorns among the flowers. Despite the ominous atmosphere, she's his ideal partner, yet the decay level is alarmingly high, ranked as a disaster. Undeterred, she proposes they begin the wedding ceremony, merging their lives in a twisted union. With a gentle smile, she professes her affection for him, leaving him questioning everything.